What is up, guys? I am DJ Keemstar, and I'm here with...
Only Use Me Blade.
How's it going? That's the end of the joke. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for you.
Guys, I'm absolutely loving the comments. I'm loving the enthusiasm. I love the fact that you love our show.
Yeah.
We've been doing a show way more than we've ever done the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of comments. Like, I'm reading comments like, oh, I love this show. This is awesome. Like, but that's not really transpiring into...
I think it's because we went back to our roots, like, which is the podcast, which is the audio podcast, and it's fucking money. Like,
yeah.
It's good. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, if you're new here, by the way, this is an audio podcast. Fuck, my hot tub just turned on. 1 minute. Let me unplug it.
Sorry about that. It's not technical difficulties to you guys. It's just... Keem's, first world problems. My hot tub turned on during our podcast. I walked out of my room and tripped over all my YouTube money.
That really fucks me up with I'm about to say. I need your guys' help to help grow this channel, but now you're talking about you need money.
Okay. Here's the thing that the whole first world problems and how that's been like a trend going on for a while, right?
Yeah.
And what I hate is this, and I've mentioned this before, not on the podcast, but on Twitter.
I hate to cut you off right there.
No, you don't.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. Look, for real. Guys, if you're new here, we got to say this, because if we don't say this, and the people that are here are probably like, "Shut up, we know."
Just help us grow. That's all.
No, that's not what we're talking about. You're not following the train of my thought here.
Because your train's all fucking.
Listen. Get in the goddamn out of the caboose and come up to the engine and help me drive this thing. Put coal in the fucking thing. Let me bring it home. What I'm trying to say is, we make an audio podcast so you can listen to us while you game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did I interrupt you with? I guarantee you forgot.
Okay, I know, I remember.
Ooh,
that's how strong it is. Okay, so the whole thing, like, if something bothers you and you talk about it, right? The initial first thing that people go up like, well, kids in Africa don't have arms. And it's just like,
yeah.
Okay. The analogy I came up with is if I break my finger, right? Like if I break...
Kids in Africa don't have arms. I'm just thinking about this.
Yeah, no, they just don't have arms.
I was laughing while I was sipping my beer. Like, I almost choked. I almost drowned it. Go ahead.
No, they just jump up and down when they're doing jumping jacks. It looks weird, okay? So... That's
oh my God.
Fucked up. That's so my bad.
He apologizes.
I apologize.
We're getting close to that dildos for Africa territory.
Oh my God. Okay, so if I break my finger and my finger's broken, right? Like if some mafioso Russian dude comes up and cracks my finger back so that so that my nail touches my knuckle, like bad, right?
Dude, the title of this video has to be something about Africa at this point. But go ahead.
No. I'm not having African kids that can't do jumping jacks on the front of the video.
Oh, dude, that's so wrong.
So fucked. And I admit that's fucked up, and I don't know why I even thought of that.
Continue, because I keep interrupting you like an a-hole.
All right, so my finger broke, right? Let's say my finger breaks, right? And I'm like, ow, my finger breaks. A lot of people will say this, be like, well, there's kids in Africa that don't have arms, right?
Right.
And I'm just like, that sucks for them. My heart goes out to them. That's a really shitty situation. But my finger still fucking hurts. It doesn't, like, my finger doesn't go, what? The kids in Africa don't have arms? I feel better. Like, it still hurts. So I understand that there's always going to be someone that has a bigger problem or a bigger issue than you. And it's a good idea to be worldly and a good idea to realize sometimes a lot of issues don't matter. But if my finger is fucking broken, it fucking hurts.
You know what's messed up? All right, we are, first world, we look and we're like, wow. I feel so sorry for the third world people because, like, they're literally doing all this shit just to eat and drink. But at the end of the day,
you know what you need to do when you need to sneeze? Look directly at a light. If you look directly at a light, it's almost like your brain kind of goes, and then you releases whatever's holding you back from sneezing and you sneeze.
I feel like that was like a cursed sneeze because I kept interrupting you and like, bam.
Let play talk.
What was I saying?
Oh, okay.
Now I question you about forgetting what I was talking about. Now I forgot what I was talking about. All right, let me think. 2 seconds. All right, so what I was saying was in the first world, right, we have all these problems, we have all these complaints, and we live pretty good, right? And we look at the third world people, and we're like, oh, they're poverty, they got to do all this stuff for food and stuff. But scientists have proven that people in the third world are, like, happier than people in the first world.
Yeah. Oh, they did the same thing. You know that people in prisons are less stressed out than people that are like in the real world.
Well, yeah, because they got a goddamn schedule.
Yeah, everything's like playing out for them. If everything's good. You know what I mean?
You know, I said this once. I said this in a commentary or somewhere. I said, people that go to college or something are lazy.
What?
Well, this is why I said it. That exact principle, right? If you follow a system like college, what society's thrown at you, got to do this and let people tell you what to do. Yeah. It's kind of being lazy, where if you have to go out and survive and think on your own and like create your own business and decide like, oh my God, do I do this? Do I do that? And you sit there and you go through that tribulation, that is so much more work than being told what to do.
I'm not telling anybody not to go to college, okay? But what's shitty though is that these people go to college and they'll come out, they'll owe a bunch of money, and then when they try to get a job, they have zero job experience.
Yes. Not only that, but like if they do get a job, they're getting $30,000 a year and they got a doctorate. Yeah. Like it's just, I tell people not to go to college. I literally do that. And people are like, wow, you can't do that. No, society's been telling you to go to college during an era of blue-collar work, you know what I mean? Where if you went to college, you actually got a really high-paying job.
If you're done...
Now that everyone... No, let me finish. Now that everyone is going to college, the people that are really making bank right now are that blue-collar worker. Those are the plumbers and welders that are making $70,000 a year, and people don't know that.
I got to disagree with you on the don't go to college thing. First off, it's on a case-by-case basis. You can't tell everyone don't go to college. You can't tell everyone to go to college.
No, what I'm saying is what appeals to the masses. And right now, the masses are going to college, and they're getting out and not finding jobs.
You know what I think college a lot of times is? Like,
you get out of high school...
College is the first place where most kids go where they get to deal with not living with parental units.
Oh, that's why college is crazy.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people like start getting into like drugs and alcohol and that balance. You know what I mean? That balance that people have to go through or whatever. But I honestly think that I would be. Here's the thing: if I had a kid and I grew up and I've saved every year for his college fund, and then I send that kid off to college, I know he's gonna be getting fucked up. He's gonna be he's gonna find out about booze and he's going to be getting fucked up and it's just like, dude, I'm not sending you there to get fucked up. I want you to go there so you have. And I always thought was funny. Like I remember some person was like, well, you can't say that you have, because I didn't go to college, right?
Right.
So when people talk to me about that and they get all this arrogance about it, they're like, well, you can't tell people that you went to college. I'm like, why can't I? I'd be like, hey, I graduated from Harvard. See, I said it. Not that hard. Not that hard to say that shit.
I think it says that on my Facebook that I graduated from Harvard.
It does too. So really, all you spent all that money and did all that stuff just so that you could say that? Like, how could you check if someone was
literally? That's what they just want, is that piece of paper. Yeah. At the end of the day, you can like falsify that piece of paper and probably get a job or something.
Why is it in movies a lot of times it's always like this rags to riches story about some person that claimed that they went to Harvard, did all this stuff, but really they're from like the streets of Chicago and they're, they just...
I'm lost. What?
I'm trying to think of a movie where not Adventures in Babysitting. What is that movie called?
What is the scenario in the movie though?
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead. Remember that movie?
No.
You don't? Okay.
I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
Well, she's like 17, Kelly from that one show or whatever. What's
90210?
No, Married with Children.
Okay.
Kelly Bunny from Married with Children. She's like 17. She's the oldest in the family. And for summer vacation, they stay at their grandma's and the grandma dies. So now, similar way, if you've ever seen the show Shameless, how the older sister kind of has to be in charge of everything.
Yeah.
That's how she was.
Okay.
And so she went and got a job and just basically just faked everything. And went in there and killed it, even though she didn't have an education. She just played it by ear,
Yeah, she just acted like she did.
Yeah, which is crazy. So lie in your application.
I did.
That whole line in your application thing, because I've had to lie in my application before. Sometimes it bites you back, but sometimes it's like you're the greatest employee ever.
The thing is like if you lie on your application, when you go in to work, you just have to make everyone look lazy as fuck. Like that's
such a shitty thing, but that's so true.
That's what I did. Like, I mean, I'm not talking like vicious. I'm just saying literally outworking people, like taking the extra mile. Like, I literally did that.
And I hate that. There's always a dude or someone that's been there for a long time, right? And is just content with being average.
Yeah.
And you come in there and you work. And they take it as, like, insulting or something that you're working hard. But it's like, dude, I'm not working because you're not. I probably am working because you're not. But, like, I'm not working to show you up. I'm working to do a good job and to raise up in the ranks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't kiss ass or, like, be fake or anything like that. But, like, when I go do a job, I do a job right. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think what helped me the most is, like, I grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally just busting your ass, and that's it. You know, I used to hate my parents for fucking making me work on the farm, but it instilled so much drive and work ethic into me that I'm not an only use me blade. I'm a Keemstar.
You know what? I've actually, like, through jobs, one thing that I've done, and this is just, I learned this when I was about 22, 23, right?
Yeah.
Before I start a job, before I get into a job, I need to look at what are the hours, right? Obviously, that's a big part of it. What are the hours? And the reason why I say that is because I am no good to a job if they say I need to be there at like 6 in the morning.
Impossible.
It's not happening. It's not because I'm a lazy worker. It's not like that. Just that there's no way I'm getting up and going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. It just won't happen. I will sleep in and I will lose my job. So
remember this one time when we were doing the video BKSs. Basically, there was a hurricane that was coming through here. And I went to Blade in Scott's apartment, and I tried to wake him up at like 8 in the morning, and they just weren't having it. Like,
man, go for it.
I brought them Tim Hortons, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. This thing is coming through right now. We got to get out and film in this hurricane. We got to get up. They just wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if someone came into my house like early in the morning and were like, yo, you need to get up. First of all, I'd be pissed. Like, I knew you'd be pissed, but at the same time, like, I'm gonna get up. Like, someone's in my house.
When you called and I woke up and you said that shit, I laughed and hung up the phone. Like, that's what I'm like, yeah, right. Click. and then I'm hearing all these noises. I'm like, this motherfucker really came here. Okay. But I'm not getting up. I'm like, that's a waste of gas. Sorry about that, Keem, but not getting up. So that's the only stipulation that I have with a job. You know what? I had a job where I traveled and I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. I actually went, I moved out of my apartment, moved all my stuff into my parents' garage, like, you know, all my furniture and stuff like that. And because I was on this job, we were staying in hotels for 4 months.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, not only am I getting per diem is the coolest thing. Do you know what per diem is?
I don't even know. I've never heard of it.
Per diem is this. Let's say you're working for a company, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, okay, you need to go out you're going to be out in San Francisco for a month. And you're going to be opening up a new store, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. You're traveling, and they put you up in a hotel, obviously, but they say you're going to live in this hotel and you're going to work here, right? Per diem is what they give you. They give you, like, typically it's like either $35 or $50 a day that they give you cash. And that's so the mentality behind it is this. If you're at home, you're probably going to make food in your kitchen and stuff like that, right? But you're obviously in a hotel, and you're going to have some expenses, like, you know, your eating expenses are going to be there, so they give that to you cash free to do whatever you want. I remember I used to get per diem for like a month in advance, and I would like buy stupid shit with it. I remember I bought my amps for my car audio one time, and I remember like the last 10 days I was like broke. I'm like, fuck.
Our beats sound awesome,
dude,
but like
YouTube has taught me how to manage money for two facts: A, taxes at the end of the year, and B,
taxes are a motherfucker,
dude. But B, they it's like a once a month thing, so it's not like you get paid once a month and then you have to make that work.
Well, I was used to like getting paid daily. Like that's how I started off. Like I would work on the farm, I'd get paid daily, right? Okay. So it's like I made this much today, pay me. You know what I mean? Then I went out in the real world and got paid once a week. And then when I got into my career, I got paid
You're on like some every quarter type shit.
No. Listen, when I started working at the attorney's office, I got paid every 2 weeks, right?
Okay.
Then when I started doing YouTube, then I got paid every month. And then when I started promoting games and selling games, I get paid every 3 months. Yeah. So think about that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's insane.
Man, I remember when I got my first little bit of YouTube money, you know what I mean? Like, it was awesome. I couldn't believe it.
When I first got my Fortress Craft money, I literally took $10,000 out in cash, and I wrote up a big list of people that I borrowed money from that I never paid back. And literally, I was like showing up at friends' houses that I haven't seen in years, and was like, "Dude, I owed you $20. Remember that time?" They're like, "I don't remember this shit."
Yeah. I recently fuck it. I recently lent some money to my brother.
Oh, okay.
And it was
I didn't know if you were doing that or not.
No, I did.
It was $100, right?
Just $100. You know what I mean? It was just like in between paychecks thing.
Did he pay it back?
He hasn't paid it back yet, but I'm still talking to him, and he's waiting for a check to come through. But it was interesting because I was kind of weird. First off, I've had friendships. It's never a good idea to lend money to friends.
No,
it's horrible because what happens is this. Let's say I lend Keem $1,000, right?
Yep.
Every time I see that person, every time I see you, Keem, if you're paying for a hot dog or you're paying for a fucking new car, I'm going to be wondering, where's his priorities? How come he hasn't paid me back yet?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like this crazy... It turns a friendship into a bill collector type of thing. And you think every time he calls, he's calling about money, and it just really complicates things. It's not good.
Honestly, if you lend money to a friend or a family member, you honestly, in my opinion, cannot expect it to come back.
I was just about to get to that.
Because...
Now here's the thing, though. When we, without getting too much in finances, when we moved me from Seattle to here, Keem spotted me because it was a major expense, right? And then it took me like a month and a half or whatever, but I paid it all back in full. Because I was like, I don't like owing people anything.
Scott didn't pay me anything. He still hasn't, but yeah, go ahead.
Damn it. So my brother, we've been talking for a while, like talking on Facebook or whatever, and he's curious about what I'm doing with my YouTube, and you know, my nephew, his name's Peter Wacker on Xbox Live, cool ass kid. He's actually been watching me, being like, this is awesome. He's like proud to tell his friends. He's like, yeah, only Blade's my uncle. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Dude, I have a cousin that watches my stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, so yeah, he's my cousin. This one side of my family is huge, so I had to literally think about it for 2 seconds. But yeah, he's my little cousin, and he is like, I think 14 now.
Yeah.
So he's all into it, right? But my aunt and uncle, they're like, dude, you gotta tell him that it's an act. Like, he's watching your stuff, and he's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like turning into like this asshole.
So after my brother and I have been talking for a while, like, you know, a couple weeks or whatever, he was really excited because he got a new job. He got a new job doing like graphic design and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, he's like, I love doing this anyway. Now I get to work at it. This is awesome. Like, happiness is doing something that you like, and you know, this and that, right?
I always feel bad for like graphics guys. Like, there's this dude, he's a fucking awesome dude. His name's Magic or something, right? He does graphics, and he did graphics for my new game, Bad Trip. And he does it really awesome. He charges a pretty fair rate, but there's so many people that do graphics, like, they'll do it for free.
No one's really... See, that's another thing. Like, we think, like, I know, like, I'm like, hey, I need a thumbnail. I can't do thumbnails. I suck at them. Like,
yeah.
I've said this before, you know, just screen cap.
And literally 10 of them will be sent to you.
Not 10 of them will be sent to me. Like, a lot of times people will send me shitty ones, but like the professional looking ones, those take time and people want to be paid for it. They want to be compensated for it. Anyways, let me get back to what I'm saying about my brother. So my brother, you know, he hit me with this thing saying, hey, you know, I hate to ask you, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but can you just, really, really odd circumstances, can you spot me $100, right? So I was like, I'm gonna do it. I said yes. Like, immediately I said yes, because he's my brother, you know what I mean? But I'm like, I'm kind of hesitant. I'm just letting you know, Jamie, I'm a little hesitant. And he was like, okay, well, a good family friend of mine once told me this one thing. He says, if a family member or a really, really good friend asks to borrow some money, don't expect it back.
Whoa, so you were like, oh my God, like, I'm not getting paid back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, dude, that's the craziest thing that you could say to me, that you're basically saying, hey, let me borrow some money, but if, you know...
There's a good chance I'm not going to pay you back.
Good chance I'm not going to pay you back, and don't be mad if I don't pay you back. And if I do pay you back, consider it an awesome, like, reward. I'm like, that's the shittiest investment I've ever heard in my life. Like, what? But, you know what I mean? That's my brother. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people, like my brother, my mom, my sister.
I mean...
I can't say no to them. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say no to them.
If I was broke tomorrow, All right? There's certain people in my life that I could ask for money and they would give it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they would probably not expect me to pay them back.
And all you kids out there, if you're starting to experiment with drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, don't. And one of the reasons why, besides it can like really fuck shit up, is that if you start doing drugs, like the new generation of kids, they're doing fucking crazy shit.
Stuff, yeah.
They're not just smoking weed and drinking some beer. They're doing some crazy shit.
The Adderall addiction is unreal in the gaming community.
Oh, absolutely. So, like, if you are starting to get, like, a drug addiction, I'm going to let you know right now, knock that shit off. I know it's more complicated than that. But also, later on in life, okay? Later on in life, when you're, like, 25 and some life problem comes your way and you have to call up your parents and ask for some money, they're going to be real hesitant, probably won't do it if you used to have a drug addiction, because they're going to think that money's for fucking drugs.
Oh yeah, no one's going to help you out with that.
Have you ever had a friend that was on heroin?
I actually, anyone that's gotten to like serious drugs, completely disown.
Just disown?
Yeah. You know, I had a little, I think I've talked about this in the podcast before, but there was times when I was down at the club and I would do a couple bumps, a couple lines of coke and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was a short period of my life, but that's as crazy as my drug experience went, really.
I'm not gonna say his name, but I had a friend that after a fucking serious car injury, started doing heroin, right, because of the pain, and then he was on it pretty tough for like about 6-7 months, and it was the shittiest 6-7 months because I'd known him for 10 years, you know, and it sucked. It sucked seeing him like that. It sucked because like, you know, he would call and ask for money. I'm like, I'm not giving you money to get drugs, bro. And he's like, you don't understand, I could die if I don't have this, and it was just a shitty situation. You know what makes it a really shitty situation? If someone's on a bad drug tip or whatever, like, you know, if they're like into heroin or into whatever,
yeah,
is that it's a day-to-day thing. They can't just fucking be like, all right,
I'm going to do heroin socially.
Yeah, there's no such thing, right?
I'm going to do crack socially.
When he had to go to his grandfather's funeral, he was like, dude, I need some money because I'm about to go to a funeral. I was like, I'll go to the store and buy you a suit or whatever you need, but I'm not going to give you money because you're just going to do drugs. Like, no, I need it for the drugs. Because if I'm there and I don't have that, I can't handle it. I can't deal with it. But you know what's cool, though? Eventually, he got treatment, and he kicked it, and now he's living a super happy life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The moral of the story is you can quit, and you can get better.
Yeah.
That hard shit's crazy. I had a friend that got involved with meth.
Oh, wow.
And he was just disowned, and I don't know what happened to him.
I mean, I
just disown people like that.
I
like you can't.
I don't see an issue with disowning someone when it gets to that point.
Well, see, here's the thing. If people that have hardcore drug problems, like if they can't figure it out, they're not just going to go rob some random person, right? They're going to rob their friends and their family because they're like, okay, I know the layout, and if I get caught there, like, no one's going to think anything of it. Yeah. You know, I'm just stopping by or whatever. What goes on in their head is like, who can I hit that I know, that I feel safe, that it's not too big of a risk. Yeah. And the first targets with
friends and family.
Yeah, friends and family. Friends in the family. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pay for this amazing... We got an amazing mic.
We do.
I love this mic. It's time to pay for the stuff for the BKS show, so we'll be right back after this.
I hate that. You say...
All right. So I always hate this when
check your phone. Check your phone. You got tweets or buzzes. I got to change my little notification thing to bacon.
Oh, there's a live stream that we're invited to be in.
Whose is it?
Drunk Sex by Vibrations. So that's what the invitation was. We could do that.
Let's make sure that our lady at home is taken care of.
Oh,
before we venture off and mouth rape another one.
Every time we.
Let's make the girl at home. See, you know what, though? A lot of people talk about cheating or whatever. They're like, oh, this is fucked up. I think what it is, as long as you take care of your woman at home, what is she? She's going to
He could say, like, before we hook up with another one or whatever, like, but you chose the term mouth rape.
Because I've been watching Californication, bro. Hank's getting back with his wife, and she's like, come get this. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to go freshen up real quick. He leaves, ends up getting lost in the house, and goes into this room where this other girl is, starts going down on this girl.
I get it. But what I'm saying is,
Mouth
like,
rape.
you can't continue a conversation when someone drops mouth rape on you.
You can say some crazy shit. I'm like, Actually, no.
I'm just saying, like,
I'll pull the conversation car over. And be
I'm
like,
just
what?
talking, like, I'm talking about this conversation right here. Like, I cannot continue to talk and have my train of thought with something being out there like mouth rape.
Mouth rape. Basically, we got to take care. Like, I consider, like, I love you guys. I consider no, seriously. I consider them like
I got an idea.
You're my significant other, right?
I got an idea.
I need to make sure you guys are taken care of first before we try to take care of drunk sex's.
All right, imagine if you had like Listerine mouthwash, right?
Yes.
Imagine if you were like, look, dude, we need to take these guys out. We need a shocking marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Let's come up with pretty good mouthwash and let's call it mouth rape.
Mouth rape.
People would buy that.
No one's gonna buy. You can't make mouth rape. No store is gonna have a thing called mouth rape on the shelf.
If that was the name of it,
no,
one word.
No. It doesn't matter if it's one word.
Rape.
Like they're gonna miss that. Still, name a word where you can sneak rape.
Why
in there.
doesn't?
I'm just gonna slide rape in here. Okay. I'm just gonna.
I'm sure there's like some type
I
of...
like to rape a lot. Hashtag. He said rape. Doesn't matter if you put it in the middle of a string of words.
Well, what if it's like duct tape, but it's red? Wouldn't that be rape?
Bro, no. Duct tape, but it's red. Bro, you know in the movies when they fucking send the ransom notes, how they cut up the little newspaper clippings and shit like that?
Yeah.
That seems like that shit would take forever.
Oh my god, I did that once.
What?
Yes!
That's the conversation pull over. Huh? Wait, okay. I'm gonna be completely silent.
You know how like in like the 5th grade and the 6th grade, how you start like writing love letters and stuff back to girls and stuff?
I don't have feelings, so I don't know.
Dude, I literally used to have I used to have boxes filled with letters from girls. I don't know why I was saving them, but I was just like saving them. They were like shoe boxes. Every year that I got like shoes, I always saved the boxes for some reason.
Yeah.
And they were just filled, like crammed in with letters. Letters from I remember being in high school and reading shit from like 5th grade.
Do you think the internet and the texting and all that stuff's killed that?
Oh yeah.
That's so shitty.
I'm sure it still goes on, but yeah. But that was a thing like back in the day. Like
You
there
know
was
what's
no
super
texting.
shitty?
There were letters, dude.
You know what's super shitty? My mom sent me a voicemail one night, and I could tell that she had too much to drink wine. She likes to enjoy her wine.
Dude, I was on an amazing thought and I forgot it.
It doesn't matter. If it was so amazing, you would have remembered.
Okay.
All right. Sorry for shooting down your dreams.
Idiot.
So, my mom sent me a voicemail, right? And it was literally she had just started working at a funeral home. Okay? She was trying to hit me up and ask. She was like, "Do you want to be cremated or do you want to be buried? And I want you to buy," because like I just made a bunch of money from YouTube or whatever. She's like, "I think it'd be really, really smart for you to invest in your burial plot now."
What?
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, I listened to it. I'm like, is this serious? Like, this can't be serious. And there was a hiccup. And I knew, oh, okay. She had some wine. My mom likes to drink some wine, whatever, you know? And so I'm like, when I heard that hiccup, I was like, oh, okay. She's buzzing, you know?
Yeah.
And, but I still thought it was crazy that she thought, hey, you know, do you want to be buried? Like, Keem, do you want to be buried or do you want to be cremated? What kind of question is that?
But listen, here's the deal.
No one wants to answer
Here's
that.
the deal. I always thought like that I'm going to die like a billionaire. All right. What do I want to do with my money? Do I want to, with my leftover money, do I want to give it to my family, make sure they're taken care of? Probably not. I want them to struggle and be poor and fucking work through the ranks and know what it means. I don't want them to be spoiled assholes. Like, I don't want to leave it to my family. Like, obviously, Mia's college education's taken care of and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm really just going to give money to, like, my family. What I'm thinking I'm probably going to do is invest it all into my tombstone and have, like, the biggest tombstone the world has ever seen.
You're talking about just a glittered out boss ass tombstone.
I'm talking.
That you can see. You're trying to have a tombstone you can see from space.
Yeah, make a pyramid.
I don't. You know what? I don't think tombstones get. I don't think there is competitive tombstoning.
There should be.
competitive tombstoning.
Oh, you think of like some of the greatest,
That's
like
so fucked
Ben
up.
Franklin's got this like shitty little thing. You ever walk into a cemetery and you're like, you see all the old little ones, and you're like, oh yeah, this guy was a farmer, and then you see the giant one, you're like, that
Well, I see
motherfucker was a
a
boss.
nice craftsmanship. I see like a big one
Dude's
like
got
made
a-
out of marble. And
Yeah,
shit.
with the big balls. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that dude right there, he was a gangster in his day. Like he fucking did what he had to do.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
I
listen.
hate when they do weddings and they say till death do us part. If I'm with somebody and I die and I'm like, let's say there's heaven and shit like that, we're not together anymore, bitch. Like,
Time out. I remember what I was talking about.
go.
I was talking about those ransom notes.
Oh, yes. Explain this one.
So, it's like, I can't remember if it was 5th or 6th, but it was 5th or 6th grade, right? And this girl was sending me all these creative, like, love letters and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to freaking, like, cut out letters in the magazine and spell exactly, like, what I want to say, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly what it said, but the basis of it is like, I want you to be mine and you're going to be mine type of shit, right?
Yeah.
The fucking teacher ended up catching, like, intercepting. You know when the fucking, you know the teacher intercept thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's
happened.
the worst. That's the worst.
That happened on that freaking letter. And the guy held it up there and he's like, oh, look at Daniel Keem's ransom letter.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Well, here's the thing. The whole process, like I've thought about this whole
And I
process.
got harassed for like a month at school.
Why is it that they do the letters like that? Why? So they don't see penmanship or something? Or they don't get fingerprints? Like, what is the reasoning behind that? Or is that just a cliche? Because think about it. Imagine flipping through magazines trying to find an L.
honestly, back in the day, they did it for penmanship.
Did it for penmanship?
Yeah, because there's like handwriting experts that can literally look at handwriting and be like, okay, that is not him and that is him. And like you could sit there and you could try to manipulate or copy exactly what someone else's writing is, and the handwriting expert will be able to find the real one.
That's crazy. Okay, I ever told you, like, you know I was born left-handed?
Yeah.
You know that?
No.
Okay, well, I was born left-handed. My daycare teachers put the crayon in my right hand, like, corrected me, and so I started writing with my right hand, and I became right-handed. Okay? Everybody that I've talked to, I don't know why this conversation comes up, but everybody I talked to about this that was born left-handed and was forced to become right-handed, like 99% of the people I've talked to have shitty penmanship.
Do you have shitty penmanship?
Horrible.
Yeah, I'm so glad computers came out because mine was always horrible too.
Yeah.
I know I'm a lefty.
You know you're a lefty?
Because lefty is like a really creative, and lefty is good with sports, has an interest in sports, and lefty is way different than righty. You know what I mean?
Isn't that crazy that we were born a predisposition to whatever hand we're supposed to be, like we're supposed to be left-handed or right-handed, but we can teach it to go the other way.
Okay, but here's
I think it's because my brain's lazy.
Here's the thing. All right, and this is, if you study history, you'll learn this, right? I think we're all born left-handed. I think we're all born. See, when you use your left hand, it actually uses the right side of your brain.
Okay.
It uses the
I've
opposite
heard
side.
of that, yes.
Okay. So the thing is the left side of your brain, which is using your right hand.
Yeah.
That's where all like conservative ideas and
Logic
like
and reasoning.
in the box ideas and like school and like everything, like, you know how you're taught at school, like you have to memorize this stuff, and that's all you're using your right hand type of stuff, right? So in order to control and to teach a society to follow commands, they try to make everybody right-handed. You know what I mean?
That's
Where if you're
crazy.
left-handed, you're a free thinker and you
think outside the box.
Yes, yeah.
And
so,
it's dangerous. They look at it like as danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like, it's really weird. But if you're a left-handed person, you're very hard to control.
And I am very hard to control.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I'm left-handed or I know that I'm right-handed, but I don't know if
If
I
you
had
were
the same
born
experience.
left-handed,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I know my mother obviously put crayons in my right hand to write and stuff, but I don't remember it.
You know what? There's a lot of people switching from left to right-handed, but I've never in my time on Earth heard of someone that was right-handed and somehow they wanted to switch to left. It's kind of like curly fries and French fries at a fast food restaurant. You will get curly fries with like a couple French fries stuck in there, but you'll never get French fries with a couple curly fries stuck on there.
Yeah, my right hand, left side of my brain totally agrees with that. That's like logic.
Yeah.
But I don't get it.
Okay, well, ponder on it. Marinate
I don't
on it.
understand.
Marinate on it. Okay, have you ever, you don't have Jack in the Box out here, but like,
I understand that the curly cues like get caught in each other, and the straight fries come out straight. Like I get that, but what's the point?
No. Okay.
What is the metaphor?
This is the metaphor. Okay. So if you order some curly fries, right? Every once in a while, you will get a couple of stray fries stuck in there. Okay, but it's still mostly curly fries. But on the fry side, whenever you get fries, a curly fry never makes its way over there. I.e., most people, if you order curly fries saying it's left-handed, a couple people will get converted over to right-handed.
Okay, so now I get this.
Okay.
What he's saying, in case you are still like, what the fuck is going on? It's like sometimes you order curly fries, but there's straight fries in there, like on the bottom. But it never happens the other way around, where most of the population eats straight fries, and they're always in the fucking fryer. But a few people eat I get it.
No, you just fucked it up. I don't want to spend a whole fucking podcast on this, but I'll say it again, okay? Curly fries are left-handed people. Regular fries are right-handed people. Occasionally, the left-handed people, i.e. curly fries, have a couple fucking regular fries in there that make them convert over, okay? But with the right-handed regular fries, they never convert over to left-handed to curly fries. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
Fucking blown. Think about that.
Wow. And you think fucking Burger King and McDonald's and Wendy's is so bad for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, man.
That's what it is, though. That's what it is, man. Like, why is it? Why don't we try to convert? Like, why aren't there, like, hippie parents out there that are like, I want my kid to be special, and so put the crayon in his left hand? It never happens.
Let me tell you about my experience with Renaissance. I don't know if you had this experience, but this is something I really want to talk about.
I love Renaissance fairs.
Because this was such a monumental thing in my life. Like, I went to school, I graduated from high school, I went to college, I dropped out of college, I started working full-time at an attorney's office, right?
Yeah. And
during this time, like, I went through this period where I wanted to know everything that I didn't know. It was so weird because I've lived my whole life with people trying to fucking teach me shit that I don't care about, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm an adult now. I'm like 19, I'm like 20, 21, and I have this craving for knowledge.
Yeah.
And it was this weird thing, and I want to know if every male goes through this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, insane craving. Like, I was on the internet, like, watching all this stuff, like, trying to figure out what the world is.
We naturally don't want to be plugged into the matrix, and we don't want to be a cog in the wheel. That is a natural thing for the human brain, because the human brain is going to sit there, and if you get something repetitive going on in it, it's going to say, why are we doing this repetitive thing? Let's not wander. So it's natural for your brain to go, I got a hunger for knowledge. And that's natural. And that normally happens about 24, 25.
So, like, I'm in there for about 6 years of my life. Yeah. I'm just, like, reading and learning and fucking figuring out all this shit. I'm watching the History Channel 24/7. I'm doing all these different stuff and just filling my brain with stuff that I never, ever would have learned at school, right? And I'm working my ass off at the same time. All of a sudden, when I started doing the YouTube thing, right, that craving for knowledge and that craving for everything died.
Really?
It really died. And I'm starting to, just a couple days ago, I started like wanting to know and learn stuff. And I don't know if maybe I've been learning this whole time like I have, but it's been second nature. It's because my internet time is way more than it was back then. Yeah. That I'm just, You know what? Because of this conversation, what I'm going to start doing?
I'm going to start, remember how I got the iPad, right? I want an iPad from Dave & Buster's.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing lately, and I've been a happier person, is instead of doing the whole internet thing, if I'm just lounging just late at night or whatever, instead of just doing the internet or playing Call of Duty or whatever, I'll go into my room and I'll watch, like I got like Showtime on to go or whatever.
Okay.
And I watch like seasons of shows. You know what I mean? I watch like some episodes of shows. Like I'm on Californication right now. I'm like 2 seasons in. And what I thought about was like, man, that's filling me in like basically I'm watching this to watch a story or whatever, right? When you're watching long spurts like that. people used to read all the time. People used to read books, and you read stories. I want to get into ebooks. I want to get into those books that they have, like you pull up on your iPad.
Well, the thing is I feel now, like, smart, intelligent people would probably think, like, well, knowing how to read and liking to read and loving to read is probably a really good thing, right?
Yeah.
The thing is we live in a society right now where that's not your only option for communication.
Yeah.
Without all these descriptive words to try to convey a message through literacy, someone can just do an audiobook. You know what I mean? Or someone could do this podcast that you're listening. Imagine if you had to read everything that we're talking about. You know?
That'd be awesome.
Blade got up and was like, I don't think that would be a pleasurable experience.
I would. Here's the thing. It would be good and be bad at the same time. I literally, in my mind, went through the whole process, and I thought that'd be great, but then I also see the fucking roadblocks in it. What if I read for audiobooks? The reason why I think it wouldn't work is because I would stop what I'm saying, and I'd make fun of the characters, and I'd second guess what's fucking going on.
I know, but that would be cut it out.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? They obviously are not going to add in the part where you're like, why the fuck is Harry doing this? I don't get it. Like,
yeah.
They're not going to put that in the audiobook.
We have a conversation and someone's telling you a
Imagine
story.
if you were listening to an audiobook, right?
Yeah, what the fuck?
They're talking about Huckleberry Finn, right? So, Huckleberry Finn gets on his raft and he's going down the lake and he starts steering towards, like, oncoming, like, bandits or whatever. The dude just stops and he's like, I don't understand why the fuck he's doing this. Like, in the audiobook. Yeah. You'd be like, what?
Here's the thing. That's the danger of your mind and my mind, is that we will question things if it doesn't make sense. We're like, well, hold up. And then we'll fucking question it, right?
Right.
I hate watching movies with you. I hate watching... going to the movie theater and watching movies with you, because you won't talk to me.
Okay, listen, I am 100% African American at the movies.
Yeah, he is. He's black at the movies. Also,
and by that, if you don't understand, because you're Caucasian and you eat green beans, basically I talk during the movie. Like, if I'm there with friends, like, I just talk through the movie. Like, I'm like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean?
Have you ever been to a 90% African American movie theater?
I love it.
Dude, it's horrible. Because first off, this isn't a racist thing, okay? But, like, I can't be the white dude that says, hey, knock it off. Like, I can't do... No, that's not happening. That's not happening. So I just have to deal with it, right? But it sucks, though, because it's like, it's just, they're like, don't go in there, bitch! Or, like...
Dude, I love it. It makes the video so much better. The greatest thing in the world is to go to that ghetto freaking, because literally, I don't know how it is around the world, but, like, where I'm from, like, it's segregated. Buffalo's so segregated. Like, there's, like, the black section of town and there's the white section of town, right? But if you go to, like, those black movie theaters, right? And you're freaking watching a scary movie, it is the most amazing, it's so fucking awesome, because literally you're talking through it like, no, don't do it, like,
well, I find
so
funny? As I find when, without sounding racist, I like it when black people are watching a movie, but it's like with white people in it, and they're like, I wouldn't do it that way, like, or like, it's like a love story, be like, get the pussy, get it! I love that shit. Like, you ever see, like I was in a situation where a whole bunch of, like, all kinds of different nationalities, just roughnecks, everything, right? They were watching, was it California? I'm trying to think what the show was.
Yeah.
It was back in, like, 2003. But it was, like, a 90210 version, but, like, 2003. And it was so fucking funny, because they were like, get that pussy... Yeah, motherfucker, pay me, and all this guys. It's like they're not thinking like that, bro. Like, stop it.
Yeah, if you think about racist, like, people that are like, oh, you're racist or whatever, like, imagine this, all right? Imagine a black person telling a joke, right? It's funny as hell. You take a white dude to say the same joke, not funny at all right? Imagine a white guy telling a joke that's funny, right? A black guy tries the same joke, not funny.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why
part
is
of its
that?
delivery is
because it's a lot of the times, and it's not 100%, but a lot of the times it's being the stereotype of what we expect from a black person or what we expect from a white person.
Well, now there's so many groups. There's like, okay, you got like drinkers and stoners, right? Like Cheech and Chong, right?
Yeah.
The Cheech dude, he's a comedian, but he's a comedian for stoners. And when he's telling these stories or doing these things or whatever, he's acting as if the people that are stoners are going to get it, and if you're not a stoner, what are you doing with your life, kind of thing, you know? And so, like, when there are some black comedians, right? And a lot of times black people talk about the whole race thing or talk about how white people are, whatever. They're talking as if they're talking to a group of black people, and they're kind of like inside joke laughing at if a stereotypical white person would not get it. They're not going to understand it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was funny that Tracy Morgan, because...
Well, explain to me what the Tracy Morgan scandal was, because I don't really understand.
So here's the thing. Like, gay people are more accepted, are becoming more and more accepted in society.
Okay.
There's two groups of people that do not accept gay people. And these groups of people couldn't be farther than different from each other.
Okay.
The one group is like the Republican, like Bible Belt, conservative group, right?
Yeah.
The other group is the Democratic African American group.
Okay.
You know what I mean? These two little groups, you know what I mean? Well, I don't know if they're little or big, but whatever.
Yeah.
These two groups hate homosexuals. They do not accept them. And they're so different from each other. Well, anyhow, Tracy Morgan's talking and to a lot of black people. Yeah. And he goes, if my son was gay, I'd kill him.
Wow.
Right?
That's obviously a joke.
So everyone's just laughing, right? It's a funny joke. It's a comedian. Worse stuff has been said from comedians. But the thing is you know, the white news picked that up and were like, oh my God, like the liberal white news, you know what I mean? He said this in front of a lot of black people that were like, that's funny.
You know why comedians don't want you to film like with your camera when you're at a comedy show?
Because something's gonna happen.
No. It's not something gonna happen. The bit can go perfect. The reason why, it's not because someone could just put it on YouTube or whatever. The reason why comedians don't like people filming with their little shitty camera is because if they're gonna have a show that's gonna be taped, it's gonna be for a special, whatever, but also they don't want you to take a little fucking 5-second part of a bit and just update that without the premise that they might have set up 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
So you might, like that Tracy Morgan thing, right? I don't, like, if he just, in the middle of conversation, he was just, oh yeah, fags? Yeah, if my kid was a fag, I'd kill him. Like, if he said that, then that's one thing. But, like, he might have set up the joke, or he might have talked about it previously, and then he said that, and then someone would just upload that 5-second clip, and they're like, he's a fucking...
let me ask you a question.
Homophobe.
I want to see if you can get this answer. What is the biggest controversial comic incident that ever happened?
The dude from fucking Seinfeld.
Yeah, Kramer. Yep.
He started throwing N-bombs at black people. He started chucking that shit. Like, okay, there's one thing like saying under your breath, but this dude is the t-shirt tossing, like, you know, the t-shirt throwers at fucking sporting events? That's how he was just stacking them N-bombs in that little thing and chucking them at the audience.
Let me explain to you the definition of, like, freaking reverse racism. I don't know what the term it is, but how this is so unfair. Listen to this story, right? Freaking Kramer from Seinfeld, big, tall, goofy motherfuckers up there at a comedy show, right? These black people are sitting there like, oh, he ain't funny. Fuck this cracker. Like, they're just sitting there doing their own thing, talking to each other, not even listening to him, right? And he's like, guys, you want to stop it or whatever? And he's like, fuck you. You suck, whatever. Yeah. So he just fucking goes off and he's like, you fucking nerd. You know, he starts freaking N-bombing them, right?
Yeah.
Huge controversy. Freaking Kramer's done. Kramer hasn't been seen for years because of that.
I mean, okay, I'll agree with you on that. But here's the thing, though. What happened was the video that got uploaded was just Kramer just throwing N-bombs. And it wasn't that stuff before. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right that he goes off like that.
Well, they were hecklers.
And I hate that, man.
But let me finish here. Finish here. Okay, so that's the incident that happened. He got scolded. Like, it was a really bad thing for him, right? Mm-hmm. Katt Williams, a couple years later, he's on stage, and he's getting heckled by some Mexican dude.
I remember this, yes.
Right? Katt Williams goes off being racist as fuck, right, to this Mexican dude, tells him to go back to Mexico and shit,
yeah.
Right? It's the same thing
let me
as dropping N-bombs. Like, it's just a black dude being racist towards a Mexican dude.
But the way that...
No, nothing happens. Nobody cares.
But this was Katt Williams' mentality, because I've seen that before, right? Katt, and it's not like a very PC thing, but it kind of works. He was basically saying, okay, if you're from Mexico and you come up here and you're proud of your Mexican heritage, by all means, but you're in America right now, so you're American. If you want to rep Mexico so tough, go back to Mexico, and that's how that worked out.
But if we just put up, go back to Mexico.
If you say just go the fuck back to Mexico, that's going to sound fucking bad. It's going to sound horrible.
Guys, I think this has been an amazing show.
I think
We didn't even talk about the one thing we were going to talk about. Siblings.
Let's keep it going.
Do you want to keep it going?
I want to keep it going.
I think we'll be right back after this. We had this large conversation, and we forgot that we need to finish up the show, because that always happens.
It happens.
So
I thought it was a fucking great podcast.
I think it was a good show.
I think we delved... You know what, though? It was interesting because... you know what we did this podcast we don't do for normal podcasts?
What?
It is Friday night, and we're both in this mode where we don't really want to go out because that's a fucking old lifestyle.
Yeah.
So, on the way here, Keem had me pick up a couple beers. I'm not even a beer guy. But had a couple beers as we're doing the podcast, and it allowed us to break through a couple barriers that a lot of times we wouldn't talk about. Like, we snuck around the edge on some touchy subjects. We snuck up to the edge of touchy subjects.
I'm looking down at Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and I'm like looking at you like, oh, you peek over, but be careful.
Yeah.
But I think it made for a good quality podcast, and I don't know, I'm digging these, man. I really am digging the podcast.
Well, listen, guys, we need your help. When we did Bad Kid podcast before, for some reason we just blew up. We were growing really fast before the channel got taken down or whatever. So, and I think that was because of you guys. So if you could, and you enjoy this show, could you please just put a favor on it, tweet it, like it, do something to help us grow, because we've been putting a lot of time in this, and I know you've been putting in a lot of time and listening to us. So why not make this amazing?
Peace.